Good morning. Good morning to everybody. Good morning to my audience. Welcome to Terrie Talks Tea. Um, I am your host, Terrie Simmons, and we have a great show for you today. As you can see, we're like the Brady Bunch here today. I got a big lineup of resources for you guys. We're going to have a fun day. We've got about 9 people that you're going to hear from. And so let's go ahead and get started with the show. I want to thank all of our guests this morning for joining us. Today's show is all about resources. This is the most guests that we've had on the show, so I'm really, really excited. Um, we're going to talk about community resources. We're going to talk about national resources. So there should be information on this show for everybody. If you're unable to use the information, I'm positive that you know someone who can. So first, you know what I always like to do. I want to know, what are you drinking today? Look at my cup. Guess who's on the show today? Joyce Dawkins from She Rocks It. So my cup says She Rocks It. So today I am drinking a pineapple ginger green tea. So cheers to everyone. Drink up. Let's have some fun. Let's get started with the show. But I want to thank my sponsors first. So today's show is sponsored by Lenity Financial, the Quad County African American Chamber of Commerce, Helen Tees, and She Rocks It. So thank you to all of my sponsors. I really appreciate your support. So on our show today, we have 9 guests. We have Joyce Dawkins, we have Adrian Holloway, we have Nisha Floyd, we have Karina Garcia, Carla Dennis, Aisha McBurrows, Natalie Bonner, Michelle Myer, and Sherman Jenkins. So each one of the guests will come on and they will tell you about the resources that they provide. So they will not be you will not see their faces throughout the entire show, but each guest will come on and they will talk about their resource and the services that they provide. They'll give you their contact information and how you can use their services, or someone you know can use their service. So, welcome to the show. All of my guests, they will be back one by one to tell you about all of their resources. So we'll get started this morning with our first guest, which is Joyce Dawkins. Good morning, Joyce.
Good morning. How are you?
Wonderful. How about you?
I'm great. I am great. Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I know everybody wants to know more about She Rocks It. So tell
Of course, I'm glad to share who she is. So She Rocks It is my organization that I purposely designed to honor and empower women. And so what that looks like is that in 2 ways. So to honor women, I do a yearly gala. And so that yearly gala is an opportunity for us to acknowledge and recognize and celebrate women from all across the Chicagoland area and sometimes out of state, women who are doing above and beyond. And so they're typically women who work sometimes 9 to 5, but then they're passionate about things that they do from 5 till 9. So I looked for women who sort of mirrored how I was in life. So I work in corporate, but at the same time, I'm very passionate about empowering women. So a lot of the women that we honor, they may have a career, but they also have this passion, and they're going out, they're inspiring others, they're motivating others, they're giving to the community. And so we honor them in that way. And then the empowerment piece. The empowerment piece is done through the different workshops that I have, which you were one of the guest speakers one time. And so we partner with places like Rasmussen College, where we host these workshops. And these workshops provide resources for networking, resources for brand building, just different resources that entrepreneurs may need, as well as coming together with other women and connecting and collaborating. So She Rocks It does that, the honoring and the empowering. We also, I have the I Am She group.
Yes.
So the I Am She group is a social media platform that we invite women into. And the whole purpose of the I Am She group is to have a place where women, like-minded women, can come together, can connect, can share who they are, what they do, and it's a platform where they can share their resources.
Mhm.
So, being a part of that group, you have access to women who have organizations for domestic violence. You
Mhm.
have authors. You have people who have brands, hair care products. So, this platform provides a lot of resources when you join that group. So, that is the I Am She group in Facebook.
Beautiful. I am so excited to have Joyce on the show. I've been waiting for her to come on the show, but I've known Joyce. Joyce and I met at church, and
Good.
she was always such a caring and giving person. And so when Joyce started, She Rocks It, I was so excited. And when she asked me to be a part of her workshop, and back in the spring, I got a chance to be a part of the Chicago Auto Show with Joyce, and that was Joyce. It was really a big deal, and I was so proud and happy for you to be able to get that platform. And Joyce, can you
Absolutely.
just tell people how they found you? And it's amazing, her story. So this is why when you're building your brand, you have to make sure that you're intentional, and like your messaging is just so clear and so beautiful. Can you tell everybody how you got noticed to be a part of the Chicago Auto Show, girl?
So, sure. So, for the Chicago Auto Show, which is very interesting, I manage my own social media platforms. So, I do all my posting, I do my website, I am my own creative artist. So, all of the images and things that you see on the She Rocks It platform are done by me. And so, I'm very active in my Instagram. And so I was putting things out there on Instagram, and one day I got this email. And the email said that it was from, the Chicago Auto Show, and they wanted to learn a little bit more about She Rocks It. And so I was questioning it. I'm like, how in the world did they find me? So I went and looked at the email, and I noticed that they used the email address that I have in Instagram. And so I reached out and I spoke to someone, and they say they saw me on Instagram. They scrolled through, they looked at the website, and their question to me was, would I be interested in partnering with them? Which I thought was huge, because to use the word partner um, was huge for them not to know me and to find me on social media. So they gave me this platform and literally told me, do whatever you do. You have a She Lounge experience, do the She Lounge experience. And I thought that was a great opportunity for me to show what She Rocks It does by inviting other women onto the platform. And so, what I did for that day was I reached out to women to come onto the stage. And my theme for the day is what drives her. So, the guests really talked about what motivated them and inspired them to be where they are, and talked about the journey of how they got there. So that was one of the most highlights for me of this year, because that is what they have, like 1 million people over the 10-day period walk through those doors. And where they had us situated, Terry, we were right at the entrance.
Yes,
Right
yes,
at the entrance on a stage, and everywhere you looked, you saw She Rocks It, She Rocks It. So
yes, yes.
that's how that happened. The power of social media.
Yes, it was such a wonderful experience, Joyce. So I really thank you for allowing me to experience that with you, along with all of the other wonderful, wonderful women that were there. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't understand networking, networking is critical to your success. Joyce is a wonderful, a professional networker, I would say. And so she brought so many wonderful people to that event, and I am still working with a lot of those ladies from that event that I met that day. So that's how powerful it is when you bring people together that's like-minded. And so yeah, there's about 3 or 4 people that I'm currently working with right now. And so Joyce, thank you for that platform, and thank you for that opportunity.
Mm.
um, So Joyce, can you share some of the stories? I think we have a couple more minutes, but can you
Okay.
share some of the success stories of some of the folks that are part of your She Rocks It group?
Well, sure. Well, starting with you, just hearing feedback and getting emails from women who say, I was at your event, I met so and so. I was at your event, I purchased this product. Within the I Am She group, there is a mentoring platform that we have. And so, in that platform, women that are part of the group can go in and they can be a mentor or a mentee. And the great thing about this is that it's separate from I Am She, although I provide the platform. I don't know who's connecting. That is between the two women. But because I have that resource available, women have taken advantage of that. And I've received some great feedback from women stating they've connected, collaborated, that the group just provides an outlet for them to reach women that they wouldn't typically meet on their own.
Absolutely. I love it. Joyce, I have really enjoyed our conversation this morning. Thank you for being a
Absolutely.
part of Terrie Talks Tea. I'm going to bring all of the guests back at the end, but now I'm going to move on to my next guest. But Joyce, thank you for all that you do. You are such a great resource. But before I leave, real quick, Joyce has this wonderful journal, and it's an affirmation journal. I don't know if you guys could see it, but it has a companion with it. So, to the first person that puts a question in the chat, you have an opportunity to win this wonderful journal from She Rocks It from Joyce Dawkins.
Yeah.
So the first person that puts a question in the chat will get the journal from She Rocks It. Thank you, Joyce.
You're welcome. And can I say the website real quick?
Yes, yes, your contact information. How do people
Oh,
contact you?
yes. Please follow me on social media platforms at She Rocks It, and through our website. You can learn more at www.sherocksit.com. Thank you, Terrie. Have a great day.
Thank you, Joyce. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you.
Okay, bye.
Okay. So our next guest is Dr. Adrian Holloway. Come on in here, Dr. Holloway. If she's going to get me because she prefer that I not call her Dr. Holloway, but I tell her that after all of that work that she did to earn her doctorate, she deserves to be called Dr. Adrian Holloway. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning, Terrie. Thank you so much for this opportunity to join this wonderful group of people. And Joyce, I am so inspired by you. I am going to try to connect with you after this. So I appreciate what you're doing as well. So Terrie, this is just a great group of people. And I know that people who are watching are to get some good information. So thank you for letting me be part of it.
Yes, thank you so much. So I'm excited to have Dr. Holloway. She is such an accomplished professional. She's the Chief Innovation Officer for the City of Aurora, where she's responsible for leading the development and execution of new initiatives for the city. And I'm excited to be her friend. I'm excited to be a part of the Thrive Collaboration Center that she recently created. I'm just happy that she asked me to be a part of her think tank, to bounce ideas off of her. So, Dr. Holloway, welcome. And can you tell everybody about the Thrive Center? I'm so excited. So many wonderful resources there.
Thank you. Thank you. And Terrie, we're so happy to have you join us. I know we've been talking about just doing things together, and little by little, we've been working on that agenda, and you being part of Thrive really rounds out what Thrive is. So Thrive is an incubator space, or rather an incubator and co-working space for the social sector. So what we do is bring together both nonprofit organizations and social entrepreneurs. And those social entrepreneurs are for-profit businesses, small businesses that have a mission-driven focus, that really are trying to do something that's going to improve society, but at the same time, working a business model. And what we're trying to do is really invest in the social sector so that these organizations can be much more effective in the work that they do, because ultimately our residents and our businesses benefit from the services being delivered by our social sector. And the reason why we brought Thrive forward was really after exploring what our nonprofit community has been given as far as resources and access to information and training. As a City of Aurora, we don't provide a lot of direct services, social services, health services, human services. You don't see that. We contract with nonprofit organizations to deliver those services to our residents. So it was really important for nonprofits to have the efficacy to do well, but we weren't investing in them intentionally, letting them know that there are ways in which they can build a stronger organization, to plan more thoughtfully for the future, and how to galvanize support and so many different resources so that they can be a sustaining entity. That's when we thought about Thrive. So Thrive is really designed to bring in all of those resources, build these organizations, provide this collaborative space where nonprofits and businesses can work together towards that same goal, as well as get the training that they can provide, that we can provide at really no cost other than below market operating spaces. So we have at Thrive a nice combination of nonprofit organizations and social entrepreneurs, and just a great group of people. It's so exciting to be there when we're all together, and the energy and dedication that really emanates from Thrive. It's amazing. So we just opened this, as Terrie mentioned, with a quick opening in December, and brought in some new members early on. We closed a little bit during the early part of the pandemic, but that was when Terrie joined us in the middle of the pandemic. So I thought that, hey, that's not too bad. We're short, but we're all together again. And I just can't wait to see what people are going to be able to benefit from Thrive.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love Thrive Center. So in your opinion, what do you believe is the one resource that communities take for granted? And how can we do better in appreciating whatever that one resource?
Well, I might do a little twist on that. I think one of the needed resources that may not have been advocated for as heavily as it should is financial education. And I think there's a prevailing assumption that we learn everything we need to know to maintain a financially healthy, sustainable lifestyle in school. And I could tell you, I don't remember learning much about anything in school related to money, whether it was savings, whether it was even learning how to write a check back in the day when we wrote checks. Didn't learn any of that in school. So we really are regulated to figuring that out or learning from those who are around us. And if we don't have people who know more, it's going to be challenging for us to know more. And when we think about the goals that we want to set for ourselves, our life goals, our dreams, oftentimes they're going to revolve around some understanding of finance and personal finance. And if we're limited to what we know, sometimes our dreams are limited as well. So as a community, if we understand that financial education is quite important for a long-term successful life, then we would advocate for it more. And one of the things that we've done with the innovation department is advocate for financial education. And we launched almost at the same time as Thrive, the Financial Empowerment Center, and it's actually located in Thrive. And that came because we just took some data and we examined some data of households in the area. And we looked at unemployment data, we looked at poverty data, we looked at race and ethnic data, we looked at business data, and we saw that if we brought this free resource to our members in the region, because we're not even restricted to the city of Aurora, we can really change the trajectory of the success that households in the area can achieve, just by having someone be able to sit down with a trained counselor and learn the tools of financial success that no one really is teaching.
Yes, wonderful. I love that because You don't know what you don't know. That's one of my favorite things to say. And so Thrive is helping the community get something, understand, provide some of those answers for those things that they don't know. So I am really excited that we have the Thrive Center in the city of Aurora. The Thrive Center has a fantastic website that lists hundreds of resources. So Adrian, can you tell our audience how they can find you, the website, and how they can contact you for more information? Because there is so much information at the Thrive Center and on the website, and people have to know where all of this information is.
Sure. So Thrive is the www.thrivecollaborativecenter.org. We made it easy for us to remember. We do have a Facebook page. There's Thrive Collaborative Center on Facebook. Twitter is at Aurora Thrive. We have the same for Instagram. So my new program manager, Bea Rodriguez Franzen, just blanketed us all over social media, and she's doing a great job just keeping people apprised of the resources available at Thrive. We're partnering with so many different interested agencies. We have a partnership with Northern Illinois University, who provides free coaching for nonprofits. We have a partnership with SCORE Fox Valley for coaching for our entrepreneurs. We are bringing a business law clinic next month, free business law clinic to Thrive. And that's a partnership with Loyola University. And these are all free resources. We partner with the Illinois Small Business Development Center, the Women's Business Development Center, providing resources at no cost to our Thrive members and no to low cost to non-Thrive members. So you'll find out everything that we're doing by visiting those social media handles, as well as our website, because it's constantly being updated.
Wonderful. Well, Dr. Holloway, thank you for joining Terrie Talks Tea today. And I look forward to seeing you again real soon. And so to my audience, at the end of the show, there will be all of the information will be shared on the screen, or you can visit my website at www.strategicexceptions.com. All of my guest information is on my website. So Dr. Holloway, thank you for joining us today. And I look forward to seeing you again real soon.
Be very soon. See you on Wednesday, probably. Yes. Thrive. Thank you so much for letting me join you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Nisha Floyd is on the show. Hi, Nisha.
Oh, gotta get off mute. Hi, Terrie. Good morning.
Good morning, Nisha. So Nisha is a wonderful girlfriend and the community development relationship manager at WoodForest National Bank, where she works with the bank footprint with the community partners to identify needs and assist in developing solutions within communities. Prior to working at WoodForest Bank, she was the director of the Scale Up program at the Women's Business Development Center, which is where I met Nisha at. And Nisha is a wonderful resource. She's a great partner, and she makes me laugh a lot. So
we are partners in crime, which is so much fun.
We do a lot together. So welcome, Nisha Floyd, to Terrie Talks Tea.
Thank you for having me.
So Nisha, tell us about WoodForest programs that serve low-income residents. Tell us, what programs do you offer?
Yeah, so as many of you know, WoodForest is a bank, right? We're based out of Texas, the Woodlands, which is near Houston, and we service Illinois, and we are the bank in Walmart. So we're not in every Walmart. In the Aurora region, we are in 3 Walmarts, the one in Montgomery, Oswego, and Aurora. And we are a full service bank. And that being said, because we are basically have the biggest lobby in the world, right? Walmart, right? And we're right there, kind of nestled right when you walk in. Our services are anything from small business rely, which is if for unsecured loans. So it can be as small as $500 to $10,000 or more, depending on your financials. But really our goal as a bank is to be a resource, like all these like Thrive and She Rocks and all the other resources today. We want to be a resource foremost. Well, there might be a transactional relationship, obviously, but we always welcome the opportunity to come in and say, hey, listen, one great resource we have is called the Second Chance Bank Account. And this Second Chance checking account is really for those who've had experienced, challenges with their past accounts, whether it be bouncing checks and, a series of things, right? And you feel like there's no other way to actually get an account. So our second chance account, well, you can open it as low as $25 and with a small monthly fee. And that's just a great way to, number one, build a relationship with the bank. We need to have that. And also hopefully build a relationship with your banker. And I think that's a great resource we have at WoodForest. All of our bankers have financial education experience. So we do the FDIC Money Smart curriculum. So as hopefully people go to Thrive and they come to us and they go to you, Terrie, and all the other resources out there, but you don't even have to have an account with us to have a conversation. Let's talk about budgeting. Let's talk about what do you need right now? What's your current financial problem and how can we talk through some solutions with that?
Wonderful.
So I think the two things, checking and then even looking in, our biggest concern is for folks not to go to a payday lender or, those currency exchanges. That's, almost like a loan shark, right? So how can you work with your bank to get a responsible loan with reasonable interest rates?
Yes, I love it. And that is a good program, Nisha. A lot of places, you guys are very unique in that way to have that program where you're really trying to help people reestablish their credit, if you will, build credit, just really get their financial health in order, like Adrian was talking about before. So that is really a wonderful resource. So WoodForest Bank, like Nisha said, is located in Walmarts throughout this country. So if you go to Walmart, you'll probably see a WoodForest Bank in there. So it's a great resource for people all, like I said, throughout this country. Nisha, can you tell us more about where we can learn more about WoodForest and the services that you provide?
Well, the first thing I would say, go to woodforest.com, right? That's where you can look at locations, put in your zip code and find the WoodForest closest to you. For our Aurora area, I have a screen right here. We have Brian Leuven, who's at the Aurora, and you can definitely, it's on Kirk Road. Just walk in there and it's, we are, even during the pandemic, we are one of the only branches that was open because Walmart was open. So we all wear masks, there's the plexiglass screens, and we're still able to interact with our customers, which is fantastic. In Montgomery, which is obviously near Aurora, we have Lillian Redmond. Again, go in there. She's our branch manager, and just ask, hey, can I just talk to you about some questions I have about WoodForest or my current financials or what you want to do with your small business, and you might need a loan. Definitely interested in talking to you more about that. And lastly, in Oswego, we have Nick DeVardo, and he's also there available to answer any of those questions. So woodforest.com, and then just walk in. I mean, that's the best part of our branches. We're open from 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, and then Saturday 9 to 4. So, 10 to 4. So we're always there, and someone's always there to help you and talk to you and point you in the right direction.
Thank you, Nisha. And we're going to wrap up and move to the next guest. But Nisha and I have a program to WoodForest Bank, and they're the only ones who have this program, and it's called the Foundry. Nisha, you want to talk just a little bit about the Foundry? Nisha and I are going to be pulling together a workshop. The Foundry workshop will be starting. Nisha and I have done it a couple of times. We have some wonderful success stories. You can read about some of those stories on my website. But we're going to be putting together another program starting real soon. So Nisha will tell you a little bit about that.
Yeah, so WoodForest Foundry in Aurora was launched with Terry Simmons from Strategic Exceptions. And really, it's the idea of, it's a comprehensive program that talks to you from either an idea stage, like maybe you work full time and you have an idea, but you've never really walked it through, or you're an established business that you really want to look at your business and revamp it. It's either been stagnant and you want to get it to the next level. Our Foundry concentrates on a few things. First of all, mindset development. Really as an entrepreneur, how do I have that mental strength to get me through the journey of entrepreneurship? As you know, it's not a straight line, it's up and down and all around, right? And then also, how do I have actionable goals and then have results associated with that? And Terry's done a wonderful job. We graduated a cohort last year, which is crazy to think about. And we'll be launching another one. I think we're thinking it will be virtual for 2021. Yeah. And so it's a little about mindset development and then in creating actionable goals.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Nisha, for joining the show today. And I will talk to you a little bit later.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, talk to you soon. Okay, so now we have Karina Garcia joining the show. Hi, Karina. Let me get your face up here. Hi, Karina. You're on mute. There you go. Hi, Karina.
Good morning, Terry. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm so excited for you. This is so amazing. We have
Oh,
wonderful people here today.
thank you, Karina. I am so excited that Karina is joining the show. She is, I call her my little sister. But she is the first female president and CEO of the Aurora Regional Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. She's also the first president and CEO born outside of the United States. And she's the only president and CEO to become a naturalized citizen. Karina, I've known Karina for a number of years now. She and I have done some wonderful, wonderful work together. So welcome to the show, Karina.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you.
So Karina does a lot of work in the community, and her organization, the Aurora Regional Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, does a lot of service in the community. So Karina, can you tell everybody how the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce serves the Aurora and the surrounding communities?
Yeah, so just a little bit background. I've been with the chamber since 2006. I started coming here as a volunteer. And as I continued to volunteer for the chamber, obviously I fell in love more with the community, right? So I was always raised by my parents that we always have to help people. So ever since I was little, my mom would send me with her friends to the doctors or to different appointments just to translate. At the age of 10, it was like, oh my God, I hope I'm saying the right thing. But I just would do that, right? And, that's just how like my mom and my dad was all the time giving rides, to people, to the stores, to the doctors, wherever they needed. So I guess, that grew in me and, coming into the chamber and just helping other businesses, being part of the community, it was already in me. So what I love doing, with the chamber is seeing how like a person that has an idea of opening a business or just any entrepreneur, wants to succeed in life and I get to help them. Oh my God, it's such a fun ride because, it's like you get to know so many people. You have so many resources in your hand that it's like so easy for us to help it. And like you, Terry, it's like I've known you for so long and same thing, you have so many resources. I'm like, okay, let me call Terry so she can help me. So yeah, that's what I love doing. That's exactly how we help the businesses. But I mean, we are very well known in the community now that not only businesses come to us, we also have other community members that they come to us, for either they're trying to find an attorney, they are looking to get some help, funding for like, to pay the rent and stuff like that. Just yesterday, I had a lady that came into the office, they needed diapers. So those are the type of calls that we get on a daily basis. So,
Yeah.
pretty fun.
You are really a great resource, Karina, and you also work in the community with the city of Aurora too. So I want to talk a little bit to you about the census. And I know this weekend we were out doing a lot of census work, making sure that people understand how critical and how important it is that they register for the census, and
Yeah.
also was helping people understand how important it is to vote. So regarding this year's census, why is it so crucial for families to get counted, particularly low income families in some of our, more marginalized communities?
Yes, thank you for bringing that up, Terry, and thank you so much for helping us this weekend. I know it was a little chilly, but we were out there knocking on doors, so thank you. Yes, one of the things that I've been telling people about the census right now that is so important that sometimes we don't understand the whole, like the whole picture, right? We just know that you need to fill out the census, and sometimes people, we might get a little lazy or we might not even know that it's so highly important for our community. One of the things that I've said before is that every year people are being told to do different things for our community, and sometimes we don't do it. The census right now is so highly important, especially in the areas where we have low income. Why? Because we talk about, we want to have a better education for our kids. But if we don't have the funding and the government doesn't know that we need that funding, we're going to be left out.
Yes.
So that's like our biggest problem right now, that, the education you talk about, like, especially like just here in Aurora, we always talk about like the east side and the west side. We always talk about like how the east side is very low income, and then the resources for the schools are not there. But again, that happens because government doesn't know exactly what's the population there or what are the needs. So the census is just helping our government find out exactly what kind of resources we need in our community.
Absolutely. Now, Karina, can you tell everybody how to find the Aurora Regional Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and how to contact you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. We have our website. Our website is www.ahcc-il.com. We have our office here in downtown Aurora on the corner of Downer and River. So you guys can come and visit us. It's 54 West Downer here in Aurora and downtown.
Thank you, Karina, so much. I really appreciate you being on the show
No,
today.
thank you, Terrie. Thank you so much for the invitation.
All right, and I'll talk to you a little bit later, okay?
Yes.
Okay, so next on the show, we have Carla Dennis. So we're gonna bring Carla on the show. Hey, Carla.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. How are you, beautiful?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm so excited to have you. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm really excited to have Carla on the show.
And I'm sitting here just taking notes from all these wonderful organizations and people you have here.
Well, Carla is a good friend from a long time ago. We go back, we work together at ComEd. That's where I met Carla when she first came to the company. Carla came to me and we just built a bond. We would bounce things off of each other. We'd support each other throughout everything that we did. And so we worked in departments together. We worked in organizations together. And so good. This morning, I want to introduce my friend, Carla Dennis, who's an ComEd External Affairs Manager. And Carla is a graduate of UC Berkeley. And I'm going to tell you guys something. She's one of the only African-American female architects that I know. So she's a bad sister. So Carla, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Terrie. You're too kind.
So Carla, and I know you have some wonderful information to share with us about all of the great programs and services that ComEd has. So what programs does ComEd provide to help low-income residents and families?
Oh gosh, Terrie. So ComEd has a really nice portfolio of a ton of different variety of programs that offer bill payment assistance. We offer flexible payment arrangements. We have several care programs. We have additional programs that will also guide you in how to save on your bill, not just how to pay them down if you find yourself experiencing financial hardships. At the end of the day, our goal is to make sure that everyone, particularly now in the pandemic, has access to reliable energy. It's always been critical. It's even more critical now with people working from home and even children learning from home.
Absolutely.
So we have bill payment. Do you want me to just go right into?
Yeah, you want to talk about right now with COVID-19, people are struggling to pay their bills. Can you talk about the assistance program that ComEd has that can help people to pay their bills?
So one of the programs we have a ComEd bill payment assistance program where income eligible customers who have past due balances and are facing financial hardships may be eligible for a one-time bill credit of up to $500. Those funds are available for a limited time. So we encourage, throughout this talk, I will encourage everybody, if you're in a church, encourage your members, encourage your family, encourage your friends to just give ComEd a call. And when you get someone on the phone, they will help you through finding the solutions that are best for you. Eligibility for those bill payment assistance programs include residential customers who are eligible to receive low-income home energy assistance program benefits, or even customers who are income eligible but not LIHEAP approved, and LIHEAP is the acronym for low-income home energy assistance programs. You do have to complete an application. It does require some income verification, but you can visit ComEd.com/bill assistance, and you can learn about all of our bill payment assistance programs that are available to you. We also have flexible and extended payment arrangements. And this is where residential customers may be eligible for flexible payment arrangements with a down payment on past due bill amounts. And this is where the accumulated balance is spread out over up to 18 months. Sometimes payments can be spread out over 24 months for income eligible customers. And again, those experiencing financial hardships. And it doesn't always require that you have a down payment to get into an extended payment arrangement. There's a website for that as well. Generally, you can go to ComEd.com for any of these, but if you're looking to get, just a one-time shot directly at the information you're looking for. So for extended payment arrangements, that is ComEd.com/DPA to learn more about those programs. And those are, really helpful. We also have other assistance programs, which fall under the umbrella of ComEd CARE programs. So we have CARE customer hardship grants, and these are residential hardship programs. So we give grants of up to $500 towards past due balances. We have our CHAMP program that gives grants of up to $1,000 towards past due balances for active military personnel and veterans. We also have budget payments, which allows budget billing, which spreads the cost of your entire electric service evenly from month to month. And what that does is where the company kind of estimates how much you spend on your energy bill over a 12-month period, and they give you the exact same payment every single month, regardless of how much energy you use, so that you can plan for your bill every month, and there are no surprises in terms of how much your bill will be for any given month.
Beautiful. Carla, that was great information, great resources. And so for the audience, we are talking a lot about some of the programs that's for the Illinois area, but you can visit your local utility company. You can visit your local community's website, your state community website, and a lot of resources that we have in Illinois, they have them in other places too. So like I said, visit your local utility companies, visit your local state websites, and there's a lot of resources and contact information that will be able to provide you with some services and support that you may need. So Carla, thank you for joining the show today. I really appreciate you, and I will talk to you again real soon.
No problem. Thanks, Terrie. And I will say, if you are not internet savvy and you want to just pick up the phone, you can always dial 1-800-EDISON-1 and get all of this information that way as well.
Beautiful.
Thanks,
Thank
Terrie,
you
for having me.
Sure. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Next on the show, we have Aisha McBurrows. All right. And Aisha McBurrows is the director of
Oh, really?
Aisha McBurrows, she's me. She's what I used to be. Aisha is the director of the Women's Business Center in Aurora, and she provides business development services, one-on-one business counseling, and business resources to nascent, emerging, and established women entrepreneurs. She wants to ensure that they grow a sustainable business that creates jobs and fuels economic growth. Aisha has a BS in business management from Bradley University and an MBA with a concentration in finance from Keller Graduate School of Management. Good morning, Aisha.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me amongst all these great people that are on today. This is really exciting.
Thank you, Aisha. I'm glad you could join. So tell us about the Women's Business Center, girl. What y'all doing over there?
Well, the Women's Business Development Center, we basically focus on women business ownership. Our focus is to really increase their their awareness, increase their knowledge and their economic status in the community. We find that, there's not a lot of women-owned businesses. And so we do want to make sure that we're supporting them. We're providing resources for them as far as building their brand, getting started, their business plan, their market research, instead of just, I'm going to open a business. Well, let's do a little bit of market research to see the need for your business, or if you're going to be solving a problem. And so we have several different areas within our center. We work with, we have an innovation department, a certification department, as well as an international department now where they are helping people to do business in another country. Specifically, a lot right now is Canada. But so there's different resources within our organization. And so that's why it's definitely a great resource. It is a nonprofit, so most of our services are no cost or very low cost. And we are just here to service the community. We want to see people grow and really have a positive impact in the communities.
Wonderful. So Aisha came to the Women's Business Center. It's been a little bit over a year ago, and she started working with me. And when you hire a new person, you never know, what they're going to be like. But Aisha, when we started working together, it was just like natural. It was
natural. It really was.
So I really enjoy working with Aisha, and I am very grateful that Aisha was able to, once I started to go full time running my business, Aisha was able to bring me in due to the CARES Act program to run the program for the established businesses through the Women's Business Center. And that is how one of the reasons I'm at the Thrive Center. So Aisha, thank you guys for that, so much for that. So again, that shows you what resources and networking will do for you, because I was getting ready to transition full-time in my own business, didn't have a big contract like I got with the Women's Business Center, and was able to get that work and really start to grow my business during COVID-19. So thank you in the Women's Business Center for that. So Aisha, how can we find these resources for the Women's Business Center? How can we contact you and get to all of your other departments and programs that you were talking about?
So you can go to the website. It's www.wbdc.org. We have 2 locations, one downtown Chicago on 8 South Michigan, and one in the lovely city of Aurora at 43 West Galena. So we're actually inside of the Invest Aurora building, as well as the Aurora Chamber of Commerce. So definitely please visit our website. And if you want a one-on-one consultation, you can give our downtown office a call at 312, I gotta look at the number, I'm sorry, 312-853-3477. And right now, all of our consultations are virtual, so you don't have to be concerned there. But we are definitely here for you. So if you wanna start your business, you wanna pivot in your business or anything like that, or grow, definitely give us a call.
Thank you, Aisha, for joining the show today. I'll talk to you a little later.
No problem.
Okay. Okay, next up we have Natalie Bonner from Talented Tent Social Services. Hello, Natalie.
Great day to you, Terrie. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
Thank you for joining the show, Natalie. So Natalie is the owner of Talented Tent, founder and president of Talented Tent Social Services, which is a nonprofit organization. She's a member of several organizations, including the Quad County African American Chamber of Commerce and the Aurora Youth Counselor. And she is also the author of several books. Marie Sunshine is her name. And so I'll let Natalie tell you more about her resources and the services that Talented Tent provide. Go ahead, Natalie.
All right. Well, I'm Natalie, as Terrie said, and I am the founder and president of Talented Tent Social Services. Our mission is to educate and empower disenfranchised families in Chicagoland by providing community initiatives, programs, and referral services. So that really sums it up. We do a lot. I can't say we focus on one demographic. We focus on whoever is in need, from children all the way to individuals in their golden years. We work with seniors, disabled individuals as well. Our focus right now is hunger and hunger prevention, as well as recidivism prevention, along with education. So we do a lot, and I'm blessed to say I've worked with several individuals on this call. I think it's only one person I haven't worked with, Michelle. So I look forward to working with you soon. So dealing with a lot with individuals in the community and other businesses has allowed me to have a great impact on the communities that I serve.
Okay. So Natalie, so your organization fulfills a lot of need, right? So tell me, how has the pandemic created a need for all of these resources that you are providing to the community? And you talked about hunger specifically. And yes, we have done a lot of work throughout the summer, making sure that, you know, people that were in need had food. We did several food giveaways, if you will, together, in clothing and census information and things like that. So tell me how your organization is filling that need specifically.
Oh, well, it's always been an access problem. So COVID increased the fact that individuals don't have access. So what we did was we started to provide delivery services to those who are most impacted or those who are most at risk. And we provided food, fresh food, as well as non-perishables, household supplies, as well as toiletries. So those things would last them at least 3 weeks to a month so that they are able to survive. A lot of people were out of work as well. Children were out of school. So you're spending more money within the house without those funds coming in. So that's what we thought would be the best way, is for that delivery service.
Beautiful, Natalie. So can you tell our audience, how can we contact Talented Tent Social Services?
Well, we are in Aurora. That's one of our locations at 122 West Downer. We can be reached via social media. We have a Facebook page, Talented Tent Social Services. We also are on Instagram. We're on all of them. Twitter. You can also email us at talentedtentss@gmail.com, or you can give us a call at 312-945-6202.
Well, thank you, Natalie, for joining Terrie Talks Tea today.
Thank you.
It was wonderful to have you.
Thank you. Love you.
And I look forward to seeing you real soon, so
Yes.
that we continue to do all of the great work that Talented Tent Services is providing to the community. So I'll talk to you later, Natalie.
All right. Love you.
Love you too. Okay, so next on the show, we have Michelle Myer. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Terrie.
Thank you for being so patient.
Oh, of course. It's been great to listen to everybody. I feel so proud to be from a community that has such great social services and resources. It's just amazing.
Isn't it great? I am just.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it really is. And I, you know, when I put this show together, I didn't know what it, you know, how it was going to turn out, but just hearing all of these resources and knowing that there's such a need now for everybody that's on this call today, I'm really happy that somehow I came up with this resource show. So thank you very much for being on the show today. And Michelle is the CEO of Mutual Ground. She's the executive director of Mutual Ground and Breaking Free. And Mutual Ground is a nonprofit agency specializing in working with victims of domestic and sexual violence. Before taking over as executive director in July 2010, Michelle held the position of coordinator of the Domestic Violence Legal Advocacy Program. And in September of 2019, Michelle also assumed the role of executive director of Breaking Free, an outpatient substance use disorder service organization also located in Aurora, Illinois. Welcome to the show, Michelle. And I'm going to tell you guys, I've had the opportunity to serve on Michelle's board for Mutual Ground, and is one of the most well-ran organizations, and I've served on a lot of boards, and she is just such a great steward of the organization. So Michelle, thank you for all that you do in our community as well.
Well, thank you for your service as well. And thanks for putting this together and including me. I feel honored.
So tell us more about Mutual Ground and Breaking Free. And so help us understand what you guys do over there, Michelle.
Sure. So both organizations, Mutual Ground and Breaking Free, have been around over 40 years in the Aurora community. And, I've been at Mutual Ground for 20 years now. It sounds crazy to say that. I started as an intern and worked my way up, and I've been in the executive director for about 10 years. Mutual Ground has been around, like I said, for about 45 years now, and we provide an array of services for victims of domestic and sexual violence. We kind of take a three-pronged approach to that. So we focus on prevention, intervention, and ongoing services. So in our prevention program, we're in over 100 schools in our area, all District 131, 129, 204, Batavia, Geneva, Oswego. So we're in a lot of schools talking to kids as early as preschool all the way to seniors in high school. We have what's called private room afterwards for when they get older. We're talking to them about sexual abuse, sexual harassment. If they feel like they're experiencing that, they can come talk to one of us individually and get the help that they need. And a lot of times that's how they end up getting help in our programs. And I can tell you I just learned recently that there was a child who brought home the pencil that we give them with our phone number on it after we gave a presentation. And this child gave it to his mom and said, "Mom, this is happening in our house." And the mom called us and we were able to get them for services. So it really comes full circle. It's very important to get in there early. So I'm very proud of our prevention efforts. In our intervention services, we have a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week emergency shelter. We have 2 crisis lines that also run 24/7. So anybody can call anytime. And one thing I want to say about our emergency crisis lines are that you don't have to be needing shelter. You don't have to be in a dire situation to call one of our crisis lines. You could just have questions. You could have questions for a friend. You could have questions for yourself. You could be wondering if your relationship is healthy or not and what to do. And we will provide all the information that you need. Also, we provide a lot of other resources to our crisis line. Another intervention service we provide is legal advocacy, which is where I started. So we're in the Kendall County Courthouse, the Kane County Judicial Center, and Aurora Branch Court, helping victims navigate the criminal justice system, helping with protection orders. We're linking people up with Prairie State Legal Services for getting an attorney to help them. And that's scary. So it's good to have somebody with you from start to finish through the legal system. And then we also have a hospital emergency room program where we basically utilize volunteers who go through a very intensive 60-hour training to be able to be on a calendar to answer the emergency room calls when we get them. So we could, for instance, we could get a call at 2 o'clock in the morning from Delmore or Copley or Mercy, and we have to send somebody out within the hour. And so we would send somebody out to provide, even just emotional support. The last time I went on one of these calls, I was just holding somebody's hand while they were getting a rape kit done. Emotional support, advocacy, obviously those are the worst case scenarios. So we're there to tell them about shelter, to tell them about other things that we can provide for them. So that's also very important. And then finally, we have our counseling services. So obviously when something like this happens, you can't just go to one counseling session and be, oh, that's done, I'm moving on with my life. It takes a long time to get through something like this. And so we're there to provide free counseling for victims of domestic and sexual violence. And if you have ever gone to a counselor, I'm not afraid to admit that I have, it's like it could be $125 a session. So this is super important to our community to be able to get free counseling services when they need them. Now we did just take over Breaking Free, and Breaking Free is also in Aurora. It is an outpatient substance use disorder addictions program. And so there you can call anytime. We have regular office hours. We have a website, and you can get an assessment if you feel like you're struggling with addictions, or if you have a family member who is struggling with addiction. We're there to help you whenever you need it. So we're doing a lot of work right now. And especially people think that it's just women. I just want to say it's not just women. It's women, children, men, gender, gender non-binary. We help anybody who comes to us needing services.
Beautiful. So Michelle, how can we contact Mutual Ground or Breaking Free?
So our Mutual Ground's website is mutualground.org. or you can call our crisis line at 630-897-0080, or you can call 630-897-8383. That's a sexual assault crisis line. But either one you call, you're going to get us and you're going to get somebody that can help you. Breaking Free's phone number is 630-897-1003. Nobody should be ashamed to call either one of these services. We're all going through a lot right now, and especially with the pandemic. Living in a home with somebody who's abusive is a horrible situation, and we want to help in any way we can. And also addictions definitely are going up with everything else, and mental health, that people, all these situations people are facing are difficult. Losing your job, having to homeschool your children, childcare not being available. People need help, and we're here to help you. So there's no shame in that.
Beautiful. Thank you, Michelle. That was some great information. And again, even though you may not be in our area and you are part of our audience, check for local resources such as Mutual Ground and Breaking Free in your area. Because as Michelle has been saying, people have been home, and as a result of COVID-19, from what I understand, there's an increase in substance abuse as well as domestic violence. So utilize the resources, stay safe. And thank you so much, Michelle, for joining. And I didn't want to rush through this show. I know we're a little bit over, but I'm going to bring in our last guest now, Alderman Sherman Jenkins. And thank you, Michelle. And so Alderman Jenkins is going to wrap us up and tell us all about the Quad County African American Chamber of Commerce. And he's going to tell me something good. Good morning, Alderman Jenkins. How are you?
Fantastic, Terrie. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, sir. Thank you for joining us again. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, it is.
On my show.
Oh, yes. Thank you. So, I want your guests to understand that this is the type of show that, people can get information about the various resources out there. Sometimes we feel that there's nothing out there for us. How do I go about it? And when you learn of a show like this, you find out more than you ever thought you could realize. So kudos to you and your team for putting this on.
Thank you. So, Mr. Jenkins, the Quad County African American Chamber of Commerce is near and dear to my heart. Tell us about the Quad County Chamber and why should anyone want to be a part of that organization?
Well, we started in February of 1993, and it was something that where a number of African American businesses came together and said, hey, we need to start working together to advance African American business growth and development. And from that point, we grew from where we were the Aurora African American Chamber to becoming the Quad Counties of King, Kendall, DuPage, and Will. And we work to make sure that African American businesses can have the type of resources they need in order to grow and to develop. And there's a number of things that we put on, such as our Technology Lunch and Learn series. During the pre-COVID time, we had a situation where we were bringing over 100 people to come in and hear folks talk about technology and how it could expand their business. And now that we're in COVID, in this pandemic, we have our Zoom webinars that we've been putting on, and we're going to relaunch them again and helping companies to be able to deal with technology topics that include artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, digital marketing, and smart cities initiative. So in addition to that, we used to do our business after hour networking events. You remember those. We come in, you network, you get a chance to meet and talk with people that you didn't know, or reaffirm some of the relationships you had. But in the COVID situation, we're doing those again and continue to keep them going, because we believe businesses should not operate in a vacuum. You are not alone in this. There's someone going through something that you're going through. Might be able to provide you with some information or service. You might be able to help them. And then we're going to different topics where we have what we call our cannabis virtual resource fairs. And that is something that we looked at that industry. The state of Illinois launched it in January 1st. And by April 2020, Illinois realized $37.3 million. And the state continues to experience strong activity even amid this pandemic. So we're working to help African Americans understand the cannabis industry in Illinois, and then also help them to develop businesses, contracting opportunities. And through our virtual resource fairs, we're bringing experts in who's giving them information about how to do it, where it is, and it's something that they can be able to possibly look at and partner up with other African Americans and get into that industry. Our fairs were held in May and June, and we're going to redo those again this fall. And people can go to our website, www.quadcountyAAchamber.org, and you can review some of those virtual fairs that we put on, because we recorded them. Thank you, Zoom. Be able to go back and people can take a look at, just like this show today. You can go back and look and see handsome guys like myself and beautiful women and so forth, and know that there's information here that is going to be helpful to them. And then we, the chamber, we put together, through the help of ComEd, and Carla Dennis is one of our board members, we put together an emergency grant fund, and we were able to help a number of African American businesses who were impacted by COVID, to allow them to help keep the paid rent, utilities, outstanding debt to vendors. That fund helped a number of African American businesses to be able to continue. And then we've been partnering to expand the COVID Business Relief Fund. We work with the Aurora Regional Chamber and the Aurora Hispanic Chamber of Commerce with Ms. Karina Garcia to be able to put together, and we created with the City of Aurora, a $1.4 million fund to help businesses located in Aurora make it through the COVID pandemic. And it was called the Stable Fund, and those monies were used to provide help for people to continue to recover from these situations. So there's so many other things that the chamber as a group has been able to do. And one thing I always say about with regards to chambers, people say, well, I can do this by myself, and I do this and I do that. We don't knock that. But one of the things I remind them is sometimes we get calls from various elected officials, mayors and senators and legislators, and they say, well, can you find out from your members what they think about this issue? They call us to find out from our members. They don't call an individual company. They call chambers and they ask them, and we question our members through surveys, and then we report back to them. So being a part of an organization that can reach more than just yourself is one of the most outstanding things. So, I could go on and on and on about that. But the next thing I want to talk about is, like you said, tell me something good.
Yes.
All right, TMSG, baby. And TMSG provides you with information about what's happening regarding African Americans outside the city of Chicago. We all love Chicago. We all love, going into Chicago, but we out here. We got well over close to 3 million people outside of the city of Chicago, and African Americans make up that. And so through TMSG, you can go to our website, you can go to our Facebook page, you can go to our Instagram page, and there you learn about what's happening with regards to African Americans. Now, we know everybody's important, but we also know that you need to find out all the good things that we have going in the African American community. So it's a monthly publication. It is free. You can go and you'll get an email every month saying the latest edition is here. And we provide positive information. Like, for example, there was a good friend of mine, his name is Mike Rogers. His daughter, who I knew from a young girl who's now grown up and now is the top anchor on the television in Indianapolis, Indiana. And she has a video that if you go to our Facebook page, you will see her video presentation about her being the top anchor in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Nice,
That's
nice.
positive news. So
Yes.
these are the kind of things that you learn from TMSG, and love for you to be able to go and become a subscriber and tell your friends.
Beautiful, Mr. Jenkins. And how do they get access to Tell Me Something Good?
You can go to either our website, which is www.tellmesomethin.good.org.
Okay.
People put 2 G's in there and they say, I can't find it. I can't find it. I say, it's just like we said, tell me something. I know it's not grammatically correct, but we figured it'd be a little something to say, tell me something good.org, or you go to our Facebook page, just go to Tell Me Something Good. All right. The Instagram is TMSG 2000, and our as I said, and also Twitter, TMSG Publisher. That's me. And you will find all that information. You can like us, subscribe to it. It's free, and you get the information. And a lot of people say, well, I can go to Facebook, I can go this, I find this out. No, you're not going to find out all the things that's going on with regards to African Americans. And people say, well, how do I advertise on TMSG? All we tell you is, tell us something good.
All right.
You can never go wrong.